When I first started my YouTube channel, all I ever dreamed of was reaching 100,000 subscribers and receiving that coveted play button and finally feeling confident and fulfilled and proud to say that I was a YouTuber. Well, newsflash, that did not happen. 100,003 subscribers.
How's it feel?
It's exciting. It's pretty cool to see that there, but it's also, I don't feel that different than I did. Because frankly, subscribers don't matter. You don't need a lot of subscribers on YouTube to be successful, and having a lot of subscribers doesn't necessarily mean that you are. And in fact, my only goal on YouTube has completely shifted, and it's changed the way that I think about YouTube growth strategy in general. To understand this shift in strategy, you need to know the history of the YouTube homepage. When YouTube first launched in 2005, it was essentially a static website where everyone who visited youtube.com would see the same page of featured videos, or otherwise be able to search for content that they were looking for. You can think of YouTube at this time like a bulletin board. The featured bulletins were chosen by YouTube staff. And at this point in time, the main strategy for growth or reaching an audience on YouTube was posting frequently and hoping that you create something that the YouTube staff will want to feature. Soon though, YouTube introduced subscriptions, a new model where users could essentially curate their own page of featured videos by choosing the creators that they wanted to follow. So instead of seeing that generic featured videos page when you logged in, you would see your own customized subscription box. We can think of this era of YouTube like a magazine. You as the viewer choose which magazines you want to subscribe to, and when you log into the website, those videos are there ready for you to watch. A change in growth strategy accompanied this change to the platform. Now the play was to get into as many people's subscription boxes as possible. Creators would ensure that they prompted viewers to subscribe at the beginning of their video, maybe at the end, and there was so many collabs going on because collabs was the main way that you could get your face into new viewers' subscription boxes. This was the era of YouTube clicks, tons of challenge videos, and many collabs. But the subscription box was eventually replaced as the default homepage for YouTube by the homepage. Now when users logged into youtube.com, they were not seeing their subscriptions right away. They were seeing videos recommended to them by YouTube's algorithm. YouTube is basically choosing videos for you, but instead of the 2005 version where somebody who just worked at YouTube was selecting these videos for everybody, now your own AI-powered little virtual assistant was choosing videos for you. Essentially, we've evolved from that bulletin board era into the magazine subscription era, and now into having a little assistant. And this little algorithmic assistant determines what you like, not just based on who you subscribe to, but what videos you normally click on, how long you watch them for, and many other factors. In the era of the subscriptions feed, convincing people to subscribe to you was the main strategy for growth and continuing to increase your reach. But we're not in the subscriptions era anymore. Just a quick look at my channel analytics will prove this. Out of the 1.8 million impressions that my channel has seen over the past 28 days, 1.7 million of them were from the homepage. 120,000 were from subscriptions. And if that doesn't convince you that subscribers don't really matter, then I think this chart will. Out of my total watch time in the past 28 days, about 3/4 of it is from people who aren't subscribed. Chances are you watching right now are not subscribed to me, and you know what? I'm not even gonna ask you to subscribe. I'm just gonna ask you to keep watching until the end of the video. Why? Because my only goal for YouTube in 2023 is getting more views. This honestly wasn't something that I worried a lot about in the past because I was so laser focused on increasing my subscriber count that I didn't pay much attention to how many views one video got over the next. But as I started doing more brand deals and that became a more significant part of my business, I noticed that brands were expressing to me that it was important to them what kind of reach they could expect on the video that they were sponsoring. And that obviously that expected reach was gonna determine how much they'd be willing to pay me. So I sort of had this aha moment. It doesn't matter if I have 100,000 subscribers if my videos only get 10,000 views. And that really made me realize whether you ever plan on working with brands as a YouTuber doesn't really matter because your reach is gonna impact pretty much anything else you want to do, whether that's selling merch or directing traffic to an existing business of yours or selling digital products or even just making money off of AdSense. All of this is going to be directly tied to how many views your typical video gets, way more than it will be tied to your subscriber count. So what exactly is my specific goal? Well, I'll be honest, this is kind of vulnerable for me to share because I'm sort of insecure about how many views my channel gets. I would say I get on average around 10,000 views per video. Obviously it fluctuates a lot. Sometimes I get less, sometimes I get way more. I mean, that's gonna be the case on any channel, but I've just been feeling for a while like, damn, for the number of subscribers I have, I feel like that number should be higher. And look, I know that there are a lot of reasons why it might be low relative to my subscriber count that don't have to do with the quality of my videos, or at least that's what I tell myself to sleep at night. But things like my channel's been around for a really long time. I have subscribers that came to me when I was talking about different topics or when I was a different niche, and they might not be interested in what I'm posting about now. Also, my target audience is content creators and beginner content creators, and a lot of people start on this journey and end up deciding that it's not for them. So they may have subscribed to me back when they were excited about growing on Instagram, but now they might not be doing that at all anymore. And if they don't go to their subscriptions feed and they haven't interacted with any of my content in a while, I'm not gonna show up on their homepage. Nonetheless, I would really like to increase my average view count. My goal going into 2023 was to get 3 out of 4 of my videos in a month to over 10,000 views within the first 7 days. I know that's a lot of numbers, but essentially within a week of posting, I would like 75% of my videos to hit 10K views. And ideally some more than that. You know, a girl can dream. But here's how that's been going so far. You can see I was able to do this in January, partially because I posted more videos and I've gotten close, but you know, it's still something I'm working towards. This is something that I'm working really, really hard to improve. I'm always experimenting and trying out different tactics, but I wanted to tell you about the 2 main ways that I'm focusing on to try to increase views on my channel. Back in the subscriptions feed era, we knew that if we wanted to get more views on our videos, we needed to increase our subscribers because the main way people saw videos was their subscription box, right? But it's different now. Basically, as a creator, you need to think about it like this. You're not trying to convince a viewer to subscribe to your channel because chances are they might not actually click the button, and even if they do, they maybe aren't going to their subscriptions tab to find stuff to watch anyway. Rather, your job as a creator is to convince a viewer's algorithm to subscribe to you. Now, I obviously don't mean that the algorithm clicks the subscription button, but what I do mean is the way YouTube works now, it's so much more about how a viewer behaves and engages with content than it is about whether or not they clicked subscribe. Content is served to you on your homepage based on what you've watched before, what you're liable to click on, what you've maybe liked and commented on in the past. And yes, whether or not you're subscribed to a channel does play a part in that. You'll often see content from channels that you're subscribed to on your homepage. But subscribing is just one of these many factors that goes into how the algorithm chooses content for you. Okay, so as a creator, we can take advantage of that knowledge and know that there are many factors that go into whether or not our content is served to our viewers on the homepage, and we can try to optimize our content to hit on as many of those factors as possible. The biggest 2 are click-through rate and view duration. And to a lesser extent, we've also got whether or not someone likes your video, comments on it, subscribes to you, adds your content to a playlist, clicks on your end screen, all of those many different ways that somebody can interact with your content. Let's break down those 2 most significant ones though. Click-through rate is basically whether or not you can convince somebody to click on your title and thumbnail, and view duration is about how long they watch your video. So that's what I'm personally trying to increase. What I'm really trying to work on is making my thumbnails and titles more interesting and clickable, and making my videos worth watching to the very end. In terms of my click-through rate, I'm feeling like decent about it. I normally see between 4 and 7% click-through rate, and I think for a channel my size, that's pretty good. But when it comes to my retention, I'm really looking to improve because I typically see around 30%, and I ideally would really like to have closer to 50%. And I'm especially focused on retention because I kind of do think of these top 2 factors. Retention is even more important, which is why I think stopping your entire video to ask somebody to subscribe is actually probably doing more harm than good, especially if you kind of drag it out and you take a really long time to do it. Somebody might have clicked off of your video before you even get back into the content, and that is going to tank your view duration. You're much better off focusing on getting a viewer to the end of your video and never even mentioning to subscribe to you. Because this is my little theory about the algorithm. I kind of think if you watch a YouTube video to the very end, and you immediately follow that up by watching a second video from that channel, maybe you click on the video in their end screen, I think that as far as the algorithm is concerned, you're basically subscribed to that channel. You're gonna start seeing more of their content on your homepage and your recommendations. And so as a creator, your main goal is really getting that viewer to the end of your video. And if you can get them to click on a video on your end screen and watch another video from your channel, then you've done a great job. Like, you're gonna see a lot of growth if you're able to achieve that. I mean, just test my theory out if you want. Watch this video to the end, then watch the video that I recommend in the end screen, and my friend, I'll be showing up on your homepage all the time, I'm sure. Knowing the importance of it now, let's go over 3 strategies that you can use to increase your view duration, and ones that I'm using as well. First of all, you wanna make sure that your title and thumbnail and intro are all very cohesive. Remember, sometimes up to 50% of viewers are gonna click away in the first 30 seconds of your video. So you need to make sure that immediately your intro ties in to the title and thumbnail that people clicked on your video for. You can see here in my YouTube studio that my best performing intros keep about 75% of people watching until the 30-second mark. That is literally the best case scenario, that a quarter of people click off your video before 30 seconds. That just shows how intentional you need to be about your intro if you want to keep people watching till the rest of the video. So make sure you do not start it off with a long and boring intro, and make sure you immediately acknowledge the promise of that title and thumbnail. Mention what it is people came to the video for, and tease a little bit about how you're gonna get into it more later. Because obviously you can't talk about the whole thing within 30 seconds, but make sure that you have at least a nod to it. If you make sure that your intro acknowledges the topic or the story that your title and thumbnail tease, people are gonna be much more likely to watch through to the rest of the video. Once you've actually got somebody to stick with you past the first 30 seconds, your next strategy for retention is to focus on using music and sound design to keep people engaged. I personally love including background music and sound effects from the sponsor of today's video, Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a library full of awesome music and sound effects that you are actually allowed to use in your YouTube videos. Copyright strike free. All you need to do is sync your YouTube channel and your Instagram or other social platforms with your Epidemic Sound account, and then you can start downloading whatever music you want from the platform and putting it in your content. And you can actually monetize your content with this music in it. I love it because you can search by the emotion or mood that you're trying to portray in your video. Need something happy, laid back, euphoric? You can find that. You can easily browse by those categories as well as by genre. And what I personally find really cool is that Epidemic Sound gets to know your preferences and will actually curate recommendations for you based on your YouTube channel, but also based on what music you've downloaded in the past. So that starts to make it really easy to find new music that you're gonna like. Best part is you can get a 1-month free trial of Epidemic Sound using my link in the description. And don't worry, even if you don't continue your subscription after the free trial, anything that you download and use in your YouTube content during the trial will be protected, so you don't have to worry about future copyright strikes. So sign up for those 30 days free using my link below. Okay, finally, tip number 3, keep your outro brief and to the point, and ideally, direct somebody to watch another video from you. If you do a long outro that really trails off and kind of gets off topic, people are gonna click away before they even see your end screen, and your end screen is the perfect opportunity to keep that view duration going and get them to binge your content. Which means that it's about time that you go and watch that other video of mine that I've been mentioning. Look, I'm not gonna keep you here long, but I am gonna suggest that if you really are serious about growing your YouTube channel, chances are you need to learn how to become consistent, and this new video from me describes the 5 habits that I have implemented in order to do that. So make sure that you watch that next. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.